Please review this toy. You have 5 seconds to comply.
One of the best movies from the 1980s, and we've had started that. We started these toy reviews with that many times before, but one of the best movies from the 1980s is.
We grew up in the 80s, so everything was better then. However, the toy technology was not. Now it is, and so we're getting awesome toys from cool movies that we had when we were kids.
Yeah, it's about bloody time.
Aye.
Paul Verhoeven made a little movie in 1987 called Robocop. Not many people have heard of it. No, they have. Of course they have. It's Robocop.
We've dealt with Robocop a number of times in the past. Not only have we looked at a couple of Robocop toys, we've looked at the Robocop reboot movie, but really one of the coolest things out of the original and still best Robocop had to be one of the bad guys, the ED-209.
This guy was designed to clean up the streets of Detroit.
Yep.
Old Detroit, before they started making new Detroit. This guy was the solution to the huge crime problem, and he's quite an over-the-top solution.
He is, but I mean, that was the wonderful premise behind it in terms of he could be used for urban pacification, he could also be used for the military contract, so clearly he was going to have a battlefield use as well.
Yeah.
Which is probably more where he came from, sort of, designed for warfare and then repurposed to apply to the streets as well, perhaps.
Yeah.
I don't know. But he is one of the coolest, most iconic characters in that film, and he's incredibly memorable in the first Robocop movie, especially for that scene. You know the one I mean. You've got 5 seconds to turn away before we show it. 5, 4, 3... But if you play it in reverse, then he's sucking the bullets out of him. Watch. Isn't that nice?
Aww. Okay, so let's take a look at him here. This is made by NECA.
Yep.
And looking at it, I mean, the detail, they have gone all out.
Yep. This is definitely a premium piece for them. It's larger than the regular action figures, as it needs to be, but it really does a wonderful job of capturing so many details in there. One of the things you can see, especially from our vantage point here, is a lot of these little rivet type things which are all over his body. It shows the construction, how these are steel plates, bolted together.
Yep.
And it's a really nice detail on there. But even just something as simple as the texture on the grill or whatever you want to say.
I love that.
It really captures that look from the film. There's a lot of detail for wiring at the joints, especially at the feet and along here by the arms, and it really looks great.
Obviously, they've used a lot of production photos and original designs. In the movie itself, you get a lot of big close-ups of his arms and his feet, so you do see a lot of detail, so it's sort of imprinted in our memory, so I think it's important to get these things right.
Absolutely.
The colour of it as well looks very accurate to the colouring of Ed 209. He's obviously just grey, but it's that right tone of grey.
It's got that right bluish tint to it that you remember from the film.
Yeah.
And they've captured it so wonderfully there. It's really great.
And being a NECA product, I imagine there's some moving parts.
Oh, definitely are. So, as you would expect, we do have movement in the arms here. You've got little flaps at the top here that move, so you can move them out of the way of the arms. We do have articulation at the gun barrel. We do have the joint at the shoulder, as it were. And, of course, we've also got the hinge there, so it can move in and out. It is, of course, mounted on a swivel there.
Turret, yep.
So he can move around there. And, of course, we've got the legs here, which allow him to bend up and down. The legs do ratchet out, so you can
to
raise them
extend
up.
the height on him, yeah.
If you want to make your ED-209 even more imposing than he already is. So there's no articulation on the foot itself. The toes don't articulate there. I don't think they really need it.
No.
And putting a joint in there, unless you did it really tightly, could actually make it a lot less stable and not wonderful to be able to stand.
So is that all? Is there anything extra, or...
Well, do you like the way he talks in the movie?
Please put down your weapon. You have 20 seconds to comply.
I think you'd better do what he says, Mr. Kinney.
It's a little bit muffled, isn't
A
it, to
little
be
bit.
honest? But you
It's-
sort of know what he's talking about.
Yeah, it's probably taken from the actual soundtrack itself rather than the isolated.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, but it does a good enough job. And as I say, the sound features on this are kind of an added extra. I don't think they're integral to the toy. They don't need to have them.
But why not?
But why not?
It's surprising how popular Robocop is to this day, and the design of ED209 is still so good. He looks really, really cool. I mean, to release this toy only last year, and for it to, I'm sure, be very popular amongst collectors, is really good to know that movie has had a long-lasting impact.
It is. It's the sort of movie which has had such an impact on people growing up, and now those people have grown up into the positions where they can actually make toys themselves,
Yeah.
that we're getting this wonderful geek renaissance that we've got at the moment. And to see the ED209 realised so perfectly in this form is wonderful. So those are our thoughts on the NECA ED209 from Robocop.
Really neat toy. Let us know what you think of them down below. Don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe to our channel for weekly videos. We're out of here for now.
But we'll be back.
With more toy reviews.